Hey, Mir fam, and welcome to season 4, episode 6 of MiraStar Podcasts. Okay, so today I'm with Lauren. So, Lauren, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay, so basically, we're gonna be talking about cancel culture, like everything, just cancel culture, every single thing from head to toe, and whatever you want to say, you're gonna say today. All right?
Mhm.
Okay. So the first question is: do you think it's fair to search through a person's old tweets to try find something offensive they might have said in the past?
Okay, so before I answer this, I'm gonna give you a question reflecting on this
Okay.
and your opinion. Okay, so you have people who are in prisons and stuff like that, like serial killers, rapists, whatever,
Mhm.
and some of them, like half of them, get sent to like psych wards to try and be changed. They're trying to change a serial killer's ways. They're trying to change a rapist's ways and their thoughts.
Yeah.
But then you come to a person who has done something like 6 years ago, they've made a comment or they've done whatever they've done. So you're trying to change a person who's killed someone, but you are saying a person who has said something cannot be changed, even though that person may not be the same as they are now.
Yeah.
Or they still could be, but how does that work?
True, because I feel like a lot of the time, maybe with now knowing that you're maybe famous, of course, people try to keep more of their opinions to themselves, knowing they might be more type of controversial or something like that.
No, wait. But for some famous people, cancel culture does not exist to them.
Yeah.
They're that famous, they're that privileged to a point it does simply just not exist.
And they have the most wildest opinions ever. Public opinions as well. Okay. So do you think it is fair?
It all depends on the person, I think.
Okay.
If that person is a bad person till this day and they still act a way and something like that, yes, you can go through their Twitter, you can bring up more evidential proof to a situation that is going on now to back up, use it as evidence. Like you're doing history, guys, take history. But yeah. But let's say they're a completely different person, they've done nothing wrong, but let's say a few years ago they've said something. You're bringing that up out of nowhere. Yes, they still said it. Actions have consequences for everything they do. You have to hold someone accountable for something they've done. But years later, you're still holding them accountable.
Yeah. I agree with the part where you said, like, of course, if it's something that they've said a long time ago and they're still a bad person like that, I'll still have that same mindset. Of course,
Exactly.
like, it makes sense because nothing's changed. If you go through it, nothing's changed. It's still the
Exactly. You
exact
have a
same
point to
person.
go through it.
But if it's someone who's now a new, better developed person, then there's literally no point. Because everyone has, well, most people have character development at one point in their life.
Exactly.
And
But
everyone
you
has
can't
their
forget the
opinions.
fact that they still said it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
What's been said is being said.
Exactly.
Okay, so do you know any celebrities who are currently cancelled?
This is the most obvious person right now, Kanye West. So we should talk about him because, yeah.
Just checking something. So, I didn't hear what you said. Do you know any celebrities who've been cancelled?
Yeah, so right now we have the most famous person, like Kanye West. He's obviously being cancelled. So we should personally talk about him.
Yeah. So why do you think Kanye's being cancelled?
Is it not obvious? Everything he does and says. But there's a massive but to this.
What's the massive?
There's a lot of aspects towards him as a person. Like, I think his trauma has developed him to who he is today. I'm not saying that's just the whole reason, because you can clearly tell he's off his meds. I'm sorry, but
He doesn't seem perfectly normal. He seems like something's going up with him. Something like that.
Something's going on with... He's had trauma. He's literally... You can just tell he's just not okay in the head. But you can't all blame that to his mental health. And I know some people are doing that. They're literally saying, you can't cancel him. He made Graduation. He made this. You have to separate the artist from the music. That is the first point. You're saying, oh yeah, he's not a bad person. He's to a certain extent a bad person.
Yeah. You know,
but
we lack a girl with knowledge.
Shush. But basically, you know that recent interview with Kanye West and Piers Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff he was saying. Wait, have you watched it?
No.
Okay,
Is it like
well,
like Piers Morgan is in like the interview dude? Like who has his own like
what did
kind
you
of
say?
show and asks questions to celebrities?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
basically he was interviewing him, right? And they were having an argument, and some of the points he made, I'm not even going to lie, they were just like, he did have a point, Kanye West. He did have a point to some of the things. And he's talking about the fact that he's trying to escape the Matrix. And I think he has been developed by social media himself. Like some people in this day and age, mainly your year, not even your year, but
Age
I'm not
group.
even going to say my year as well. Like our generation of people, they're just developed over social media. And I think it's like really big, this idea of spirituality and the side where people are trying to escape the Matrix. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because some people have that belief that we're stuck in like a Matrix, obviously. But I think that the idea and his mental health are actually mixing together to make this new person within him, and it's just mad. But yeah, okay.
Okay, so what do you think are the mental effects of cancel culture?
Like within them, like the effects of a person.
Yeah, a person who's affected being cancelled or threatened to be cancelled, or a person who just is cancelled or something like that.
Whoever is cancelled, depending on the reason, which is most likely a justificational reason, but sometimes it's for the most pettiest things ever. But I think they deserve the right, like the effects that they get, they should be expecting it.
Yeah.
Because you say something, you should know that's gonna come with something. Like you may think, oh yeah, I have my opinion on something, I can say whatever you want. But is your opinion correct? Yes, you're allowed to have opinions, but is it correct though? You should know that there's going to be something towards that coming with that. So whatever effects they get with it, that's their own fault, because they should know it should be coming with them.
Yeah. And I feel like people always forget about the fact that there's a digital like footprint. Whatever you say will always be used against you. So whatever says always come back to you eventually, even if you don't see it now, or even if you could be as little as a 15-year-old. Whatever you say then can affect you when you're like 28. So I feel like you should always mark your words and remember what you're saying. And
even if you say it as like you didn't mean to say it in a bad way, you still said it, like.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, whether how you meant something is different to how someone received it, you were saying it to the person, you weren't saying it to yourself. So you have to say it in another way that the other person will understand. Yeah, because it can do you a lot. Okay, so why does cancel culture come across as toxic?
You have to give things to what you're saying. In what way?
So
give more.
People see cancel culture as like toxic, as in it could be very unhealthy to some people, or people can just get cancelled for the littlest things, or it's like kind of making people feel under pressure of having their own opinions. And that's why some people kind of see cancel culture as toxic, or it shouldn't exist, or people go too far with it. Okay, so why is it?
It is because people don't understand the definition of cancel culture. Because obviously cancel culture has been around for like forever. But right now, people are just developing it to the new level. Like I could literally say to someone, oh yeah, I don't like your hair. And they could be like, you don't like my hair, I'm going to cancel you. They're going to say all this stuff. That you can't cancel someone for saying that. Like, you don't understand the definition of it. You're doing the most pettiest things. And let's say, I said to you, I don't like your hair. And now you're coming at me saying, I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to kill you. You're sending me all these death threats or whatever. And then,
it's not balanced.
So it really is toxic because people do not understand, and they're not educating themselves on a simple topic. They're just following off what social media has presented to them.
Yeah, people get their feelings hurt and decide to cancel someone.
Exactly. Like, it's not that deep. Half the time it would be true, and you just can't face the truth.
Yeah. Do you think that cancel culture needs to be stopped?
To a certain extent, I feel like it does need to be stopped with people who are like not knowing about it. As I just said then, like if you're not educated on it, you shouldn't have a say in cancel culture. Like
Yeah,
unless you fully know, like, but at the same time, it shouldn't be stopped because it's still to that point where you have to hold people accountable for the stuff they have said. So it links with how you see it and what type of person you are and whatever.
I feel like when it comes to holding people accountable for the things they say, I feel like people also forget the educational part of it. Like you can't
Exactly.
just cancel someone and never get them an opportunity to be taught out of their ways, because it's not every day cancel, 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 cancel. There's also an educational part to it. You need to educate them because they're
But that's
cancelled because they're uneducated.
but nobody sees that in this age. Like they will forget about you, pretend, just move on. Like you're not given that chance to redeem themselves. But some things you cannot redeem yourself from. Like
Yeah,
you can educate yourself, but you can't redeem from what you said or did.
I agree. So what approach could be implemented instead of cancel culture? So what else could we do instead of canceling people all the time?
I don't.
I've caught you at this one.
Educate people, as I said, like
Okay.
because you can't. Cause some people might not understand what they're doing wrong. They might think, like the way they've been brought up, the community they've been surrounded in, they might not know what's right and wrong. So you're counseling them, and they're what's going on, and this leads to some people, not all people, but you see people killing themselves because they've been cancelled because of what they did, what they said, and then people will see that as, oh yeah, it's their own fault, blah blah blah. But no one taught them that they actually did something wrong with what they did or said. Like it's
Yeah. Like I feel like now these people just see people as the person who said this or that or did this or that. And like, of course, you need to, maybe they've learned, maybe they've not learned, or even if they've not learned, give them an opportunity to learn. Don't be all up in their face
No,
and
I
not
don't
give
think
them a
you
time
should.
to learn.
I do not agree with what you just said. If you give
No,
them
but they need to
opportunity to
learn.
learn and they don't take it, then you're gonna hold them accountable for what they did still. You're telling them, you're trying to help them change, and they're not changing, so they are that person.
Yeah. Whether they don't choose to learn, then that's their own at that point. But of course,
Exactly,
they still need
who
to
they are
have
if they don't
time
choose
to
to
learn.
learn.
Yeah. They need to be able to learn. But if they don't learn, then that's kind of their
It
own.
is what it is.
Um.
That's their own fault.
So, what are the reasons that someone could be cancelled for?
They could be cancelled for the comments they say, their opinions against people, like for them being prejudiced towards people, for them being like transphobic, for them being homophobic, for them being racist, for anything that they don't shouldn't have a say in.
And maybe something they've done. So, I remember this. So, one of the first people that I remember got cancelled back in like 2020, you know Shane Dawson?
Oh yeah.
That guy first. I don't
I
know,
used
whatever
to
the
love him. I
something on his
did.
cat or something. I don't know. So I don't think it's only what you say, but it can also be what you've done. 'Cause I don't think he said anything to his cat. But it could also be what you do as well. And stuff like that.
What did he do? What did he do? Yeah.
I'm not pretty sure, but Google's always free to use.
I heard something else, but
Well, I know it's definitely something about his cat. Let me Google it real quick. Oh.
Did he? What do you mean? That's the only thing I'm thinking.
No, like he
What?
he didn't.
I heard that
No,
he
he
did
didn't do
something
that.
with other people. Like, yeah.
Okay, so next question is.
We're going straight to. Give me an easy question an easy but one I can waffle on because I'm kind of doing my work at the same time.
Okay. So, do you think that cancel culture is an actual problem?
Like in society as a whole, compared to everything else.
Yeah.
As a whole, I do think it's a problem, but at the same time, I don't think it's a problem. Like, for the person themselves, to a certain extent, it can be a problem. And because of the way people are using it, they're not using it in the right way. And it's honestly affecting people. But when they're using it in the right way, obviously, then that's fine. Because, but when they're not using it in the right way, then obviously that's when it becomes a problem. When, like, the whole grand scheme of things, of everything else, all the other problems in the world, I personally think it's not real. But yeah.
Okay.
But that's my opinion. Other people may have a different opinion to that.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to draw
Anyways.
chromosomes.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to draw chromosomes, but I can't do it.
Oh. That's nice. Anyways. Next question is, so, do you think comedians should be cancelled for past offensive material? Like, a past offensive comedian.
First of all, I think comedians exist. I do not like comedians. I think they are like they're NPCs. I'm telling you, like, they are put in this world not for good. They're not brand here for good. They are in disguise. Comedians are disguised as people who hate people. Comedians, they are like the definition of. They have a problem with everything, but they make it into a joke. So they disguise it. So they think, oh, it's fine. I can say this about someone. But they can't. But it depends who the comedian is, because I do have a comedian and he has my heart. But, besides from that, like, when you talk about your own personal problems, let's say Kevin Hart, he talks about his life problems, stuff like that. I love him. Go watch him on Netflix, guys. I love his yeah. But anyways, but then you have other comedians that think they can make jokes about people, like, oh, what's he doing? But they say it in a way where, oh, it's fine, it's just a joke. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think comedians are even real. So,
Yeah. So, is it cancel culture to discontinue brands that do things you disagree with? If so, which? If that makes sense.
Say that again.
Do you think it's called cancel culture if you choose to, like, end, like, brands that you disagree with, that do things you disagree with? Like, say
so you're saying that
like a famous brand did something, you disagree with it, and you want to end that brand, do you think that's kind of called, like, cancel culture?
Not really. It depends, like, what they did. Like, so let's say they did something you disagree with. Like, let's say, when they found out products were, like, doing animal testing, but, like, where they put it down and stuff like that, where they killed them. I don't know what it was, but it was something going on, like, last year or something to do with it, and a brand got, like, cancelled for it. Let's say if you're doing something like that is cancel culture. But let's say, oh yeah, they just put something in the product, it's reacting to your skin, something like that. Or, oh yeah, it's doing whatever. Or it's making you have problems on the inside. Why? That's not cancel culture. You just don't like it and it's affecting you. Just because it affects you as a one particular person does not give you the right to go get other people to go cancel something. It has to, like, affect the majority, if that makes sense.
Okay. So are there any cancelled celebrities you pretend to hate but secretly like?
I will happily say it. I like Kanye West, but I don't like him as a person. I like his music. But if you're talking about, you'd have to say people. Actually, no. This is very controversial depending on your view. But recently, do you know that whole, like, scandal with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Okay, do you actually know it?
Yeah, like court case, stuff like that.
Yeah. So obviously, Amber Heard was found, like, guilty, blah, blah, blah. But recently, it's come up that wait, first of all, they both did stuff. It was on both sided. But people are now bringing up again how they're all trying to cancel Johnny Depp because they first cancelled Amber Heard, right? And yes, they both did stuff wrong. They both did stuff to each other. So you can't justify one thing. But I'm sorry, I really like Johnny Depp. So, yeah, I will happily say that. Because they both did stuff wrong. So you can't cancel one if you don't cancel the other. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, what was I gonna say? I feel like, you know, when you said like you have to separate the music from an artist.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like, say if you're listening to music from a person who's cancelled, I feel like people make it like it's really big because, of course, they might have really good music, but they're not the person. Yeah. Because
Like,
you're there to vibe with their music, not them.
Exactly. Like, people will think, oh yeah, you're listening to their music after they've done all this stuff. That means you're supporting the idea of what they've done. Not really. That's not what it means. Because I'm not supporting them as a person. I'm supporting their music. Like, it's two different things. Like, yeah. I don't really understand when people say that because I don't think they really understand what they're saying.
Yeah. So, is there a celebrity who hasn't been cancelled but you believe they should be?
Ooh. This is actually me and I have to think.
These could be like GCS.
Okay.
But harder.
Okay, I'm very on and off about this idea, right? Because I know apparently one point people were trying to cancel him, but they were only trying to cancel him for like a week, and then like they all forgot about it as if it was nothing. We know Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
So
like he made this song or something.
It's called Truncat, and it's basically talking about his inner thoughts and how he wants to.
I've heard of
but
it.
I really like Tyler the Creator, right? But I think the way people will perceive that, like, they'll think he should be cancelled. Which, considering all the other artists, if someone else was to make a song like that, then let me just say, if Kanye West was to make a song about that, considering his mental health as well and the state he's in, if he made that song now, everyone would cancel. Everyone, they would add that to a reason to make it even worse. But because they love Tyler the Creator that much, they're not going to. But yes, I would justify the fact that he is portraying his inner thoughts because that was part of his mental health. So I get that, like, because I still listen to the song. Like, I like the song, even though that's a bad thing to say. I do like the song. But I think if that was a different person saying that, it would be completely different.
Yeah. Okay. Next question is: do the political views of a celebrity impact whether you are not like them? Me, I don't do politics, but you might listen to the views of a celebrity, like whether a celebrity supports Trump or not. Does that affect?
I mean, I'm not really a political person.
Political.
But, shut up. But like, wait.
Can a celebrity's political views affect how you see them?
In my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's only because, well, it depends, because I'm a very judgmental person, and if you disagree with what I agree with, I don't like you. And that goes for anything. So when it comes to politic reasons, let's say I really don't like Trump, and plus he's orange, and I have people who look like oranges, you belong in the fruit bowl. But anyways, it's my place to comment. But like, okay. Anyways, like, if you support him, yeah. Like, so their views do have an impact on the person. Like, for me, it just,
yeah, it'll probably like change how you see them. Because say if they support Trump, for example, and you believe that Trump has racist views, and they support that, they're basically
they're literally infiltrating ideas. They're literally saying that they're racist as well. They support everything. They want to, like, it really says a lot about the people who you support, because it portrays like your own ideas.
Yeah. Okay. So next question is, sorry if I sound out of breath. Next question is: has there been times when you were hesitant to speak or to write slash
If you
post
said,
something?
wait, someone just called me, so I heard nothing you just said, by the
It's
way.
Has there ever been times where you were hesitant to say something, like write or post something, in case of being cancelled or something?
No, if I have something to say, I will say it. But yeah.
Has anyone
I'm a
ever tried
very
to
open
cancel you?
person about my... I speak my mind. Like, if I generally have a problem with something, I will say it.
Okay. Has anyone ever tried to cancel you for it?
No. Why would someone try and cancel me? Like, my opinions are my opinions.
Okay. Calm. So how do you define cancel culture? So if someone asked you what is cancel culture,
I define it. Oh my
yeah.
God.
So if someone asked you what is cancel culture,
I'm not good
what
at
would you tell them?
explaining stuff.
Well, you like English, so
Okay, no. I like English literature. There's a difference.
okay. But this is related to explanations and stuff like that. You could be asked that a lot in English. So how would you define cancel culture to someone who asked what it is?
I don't know how to explain it. I don't know.
Is it like
Cancel culture is like when you, like, let's say it was a celebrity, like you stop giving support to that person and you take all rights off them for their actions that they have done.
okay?
I think I don't know how to explain it because there's different like ways you can explain it. And that seems a very limited way for it because it's not just celebrities, but that's the only way I can try and describe it.
Okay. Well, I would personally like if someone asked me to define it, I'd probably say like cancel culture is like a way of a society's way of a way of society declining them or rejecting them off of their own personal opinion. Something
See,
like
this
that.
is why you're in set 1. I don't know. I'm guessing you're in set 1.
Nah, we don't have sets. There's no sets. I don't really have sets, but if I did have sets, I'd probably be like set 1, set 2 English. Because me personally, I think I'm
I feel like
pretty
you would
good
be in
at
set
English.
3. You seem like a set 3 person.
A set 3 person.
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, in my class, my teacher says I'm one of the top students.
They're lying to you. They just say that.
He asked you. Anyways, Google's definition of cancel culture or call-out culture is a phrase contemporary to the late 2010s and early 2020s used to refer to a form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, whether it be online, on social media, or in person. Those subject to this ostracism are said to have been cancelled. That's the nerdy Google definition of it.
That sounds like what I said, so.
It's basically a way of rejecting someone from society based on their own opinion. Personally, I think I said it better than you did. It took you 20 years to get one word out. Okay.
Because I was thinking, I was processing.
Okay, process well. Next question is, what impact has it had on you? What?
For me?
Does that make sense?
What?
No, I was trying to process this in my head. Okay, so what do you see as the difference between cancelling someone and holding that person accountable?
The difference?
Yeah, do you think there is a difference?
Because
I think I'll call you on this one as well.
I'm trying to process. Wait. So, a difference between cancelling someone and holding them accountable. Cancelling someone, there is a difference, but I just can't lay my finger on the difference. Like, basically holding them accountable, you're giving them an opportunity. Basically, you will forever hold someone accountable for something. no matter what they did. You have to hold them accountable. It's
Mhm.
just life. But you're literally just cancelling them. You're giving them no opportunity to redeem themselves. You're literally saying, okay, that's that. You're that person. Bye. Move on. But holding them accountable is a way that someone, you can let them change, but it's always stick with them. It's just something that stays with you. So there is a difference in a way.
Okay.
See how
So
I can always redeem myself back from the question? Like, wow.
after a few years,
Okay.
so to hold someone accountable is basically like to justify someone's actions. So
I know what holding accountable means.
yeah, but if I was to answer the question you just asked in a smoother way,
You're
so
asking
if
Google for your answers.
no, I'm not asking Google. I'm just saying what accountable means. Well, accountable is like justifying someone's action. So if you were to hold someone accountable, then of course that's like giving them a chance or giving them
Holding
an
someone
open way to
accountable is not giving them a
educate them.
chance.
No, like of course when you're holding someone accountable, you're telling them what you did wrong, what they did wrong, stuff like that. You're letting them know, and they have kind of an opportunity to redeem themselves in a way.
Exactly.
But when someone's fully cancelled, then you're known as that cancelled person. Like, what are you gonna do to get yourself back? You
But
are
like,
genuinely cancelled.
like this today, like in society, we're like the most educated we have ever been, like ever, because obviously we're like, yeah, but like at the same time, I feel like if someone was to do something or like say something, whatever, you shouldn't really be given a chance to redeem yourself because you already know stuff. You're educated. You should know what's
Yeah.
right and wrong, and you're still doing it. So at the same time, I don't think you should allow someone to redeem. But I mean, you should always give people a chance. But I don't believe in second chances personally. So, you know.
I feel like it depends sometimes, because sometimes it could always be like family upbringing. Like if you live in like a house that has a strong opinion on something, you will grow up with that opinion and be influenced by that
exactly.
opinion.
That's different though when it comes to that.
And then after you grow up and then you're finally introduced to a new opinion, contradictory to your opinion that you had, then it's kind of like a bit excusable to give them an opportunity to finally get educated on what's right and wrong.
I
Because
do
it's hard
feel
to move from an opinion. What'd you say?
I do feel like, I don't know, I feel some sort of way for people who are grown up in a very closed off household, because they're not really get to experience in the same like sort of experience as other people, and like they don't have the same views and stuff like that, and it's generally like I feel bad for them, like, do you know what I mean? Like, because then they don't know stuff like other people, so stuff is happening to them, and it's like, obviously it's not their own fault, like, but it is at the same way, but it's not, because they've not brought up.
Okay, that's fair. Let's move to the next question. So the next question is, I think I've already asked that question. How can cancel culture ruin the reputation of someone?
Okay, can I just say these questions are very repetitive, give the same outcome.
Well, yeah, like hard to think of some questions.
But you can just,
because you always find a different way to waffle about them, so it's good on my part.
Okay, wait, what was the question? I completely forgot the question was.
How can cancel culture ruin the reputation of someone?
So you can give like, okay, you can give thingy celebrities, for example, like take away everything that they have worked for their whole life. They have literally spent their whole life trying to do all this stuff, and they do something bad, and it takes everything away from them. Like all of that work and progress was for nothing, just because of their actions. So this is why, like, I forgot what the question was, but I'm just gonna keep talking. But like, yeah, this is why you just have to be careful for everything you say, because like the action and consequences, it can just ruin your life. Like, this is why you think before you speak, guys. Yeah.
Next question. Wait, do you remember what the question that I asked you was?
No.
Okay, so the question was, how can it ruin the reputation of someone?
Oh, I wasn't even talking about the right thing. I mean, I was, but I wasn't, because I was going to get to a point. But it can ruin the reputation because everything they've built for their whole life has literally gone over literally something they said. Like, it can ruin them because it can make them into something big to something nothing and worthless. That over time, people will forget they ever existed. It becomes that bad. It's like they just get lost in the media.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that means.
What'd you say? Okay. So, do you think that cancel culture is a controversial topic?
Huh?
Do you think the topic of cancel culture is controversial?
Yeah, I do think it.
Okay. So what, after, if someone was to get cancelled, what do you think they could do, like, to kind of bring themselves back, or do you even think they can bring themselves back?
No, I generally don't think they can bring themselves back, because people will use excuses to bring themselves back. They'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't know, blah blah, I said this out of anger, I said it was an accident, it slipped out, I said this because they made me do it, blah blah, I was forced to do it. Like, no, you said it. Like, whoops. So they can't bring themselves back, but that's my opinion. Other people obviously think different, but I personally don't think you can.
Okay. Personally, I feel like,
actually, never mind.
Whatever someone says out of anger, you should always pay attention to it, because usually you say
that is what I'm saying. That is so true.
Usually you say most of your true feelings when you're angry about something or someone.
Exactly.
Like, you can't be like, okay, yeah, I've been fake to you all this entire time, and then 10 minutes later, oh no, I only said that because I was angry. I didn't actually mean it. No. There's been times people have said that and they said it out of anger.
Exactly.
Like
you'll have
it's not every day something's out of anger.
Exactly. Like they will be like,
your big age, control what you say.
They'll be like, oh yeah, I said it, but I was angry, so I didn't mean it. No, like, are you stupid? Do you have no common sense? You're meant to be in set one, and you're telling me, oh yeah, you're saying, oh yeah, I never liked you, blah blah blah. What? Are you stupid? But you're trying to around. You're not. You're trying to like manipulate your head, but little do you know, I'm the best manipulator ever. I literally never liked you the entire time. But anyways, that we move. Okay, that was that.
Okay. So, what would you do if you got cancelled?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Personally, I would just have to firm it. Like, there's nothing I can do. If I get cancelled, if I was to say something, I would. If I say something, as I said before, I would personally say it because I mean what I said. So if I said something, and I obviously would have meant what I said, there's no coming back from what I said. And I literally, even though I said that about other
people, I recognize it somewhere. From
Well, she was saying stuff, right? And everyone wanted to bang her. And she's literally... But then she started crying to all the teachers and stuff like that. She was crying to all these girls and boys, saying, oh yeah, I never meant what I said, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, they all forgive her. Like, I get them in year 7, so, like, they don't know, and, like, they'll be like, oh yeah, I feel bad. But for this girl, you're literally just saying, I can do whatever I want if I cry. And, like, what? It just doesn't make sense.
Okay. So if you were personally to get cancelled, why? What do you think the reason would be? Why?
The reason why I would get cancelled?
Yeah. What do you think you'd get cancelled for?
I don't know. What do you think I would be cancelled for? I don't know what I'd be cancelled for. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe your opinions on men. I don't know.
No, that's actually true. I feel like one day my opinions on men, they're gonna go a bit too far.
They're gonna go back to you eventually, like Darman or something.
I feel right now someone's collecting data on me, on everything I'm saying, on all this stuff. I feel like they're secretly watching me. And then one day, I'm just gonna go somewhere, something like that, and they're just gonna hit me with everything I've ever said about men. And you know, I will happily admit what I said.
Okay, well.
Yeah. I think my hate for men is just too much.
So if I got cancelled, what do you think it'd be for and why?
I don't know actually. I feel like you would get cancelled.
I'm a good person.
I feel like you would say something towards a girl, right? Ew, it's melted. Ew. Okay, so I feel like you would say something towards a girl, and then like everyone's just gonna like, I can't say what I want to say because it's a bit out of the topic. But I just think you'll say something towards a girl, and it's just gonna get too much, and then everyone is just gonna turn on you. I can predict the future. I'm telling you. You're gonna say one bad thing, and then yeah.
If you want messing you what the thing is, I wanna be updated on what you think it is.
No. I'm not telling you. But
well,
my friend
personally,
video of you,
What'd you say?
My friend tagged me in a video of some guy that looked like you, and like the guy was being accused of something. Yeah.
Is that why you think that? Because you saw some guy that looked like?
No. No, that's not what I think. I'm just saying.
No, it's probably the guy that looked like me that's kind of corrupting your mindset right now. So, is it that friend that you're always with the glasses?
No, I'm not telling you who it was.
Well, do I know who the person is?
Okay, move on. Next question.
Yeah, it's probably the glasses girl. I don't know her name, so I'll just call it glasses girl. Is she Polish?
The person who said it's not Polish, but that girl is Polish, yeah.
Yeah, the one I'm talking about. Your friend.
But she didn't say it. Some other person said it.
Okay, Miss Council Culture. Okay, so next question is, what type of things... No, I think I've asked them. Have you ever disliked a celebrity you used to like just because they got cancelled?
What celebrity have I liked that got cancelled? Yes. So, Rex County Orange. Do you know what happened to him?
Wait, is it not Rex Orange County?
I don't know.
Is it not the other way around?
I don't care. Same thing.
Wait,
yeah.
Yeah, it's Rex Orange County, not
okay,
Rex County Orange.
It's the same thing. I don't listen to him anymore. So how do I know his name?
But like,
I used to love his music. That was my go-to crying music. Like, it just hit different. But what did he do? Like, got accused of 7 people, sexual assault or whatever, raping them. I'm sorry, but my hate towards men, when it comes to that, it just fuels my hate towards men, and it gives me a reason to why I should just hate men. So I just stopped listening to him to prove a point to myself that I really do hate men. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, everything just goes back to that. So he got cancelled, so I don't like him anymore.
You and your men opinions is very interesting.
I have a valid point to it, so
Well, you have a very valid point to him, of course. But men as a whole, you've got a lot of interesting opinions.
I do, because I could say something about a man, right? And I could literally prove it's true. Like,
Okay. Do you think? Well, I've asked a question similar to this, but instead of tweets, it's lifestyle. So, do you think it's fair to just use someone's negative or lifestyle, not tweets, as a way to cancel them in the future? So maybe
their
something they used to
lifestyle.
do, yeah, or something they might have participated in, or they might have always said things they shouldn't have said, had friends that were like a bit questionable, might have.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna stop you there. I have 2 points to this. First, you're gonna have to repeat everything you just said because I'm gonna forget it. But the bit where it comes to the questionable bit, the friends bit, I don't think you should judge a person based on who their friends are. I think you should, but you shouldn't, depending on what they do. Because I know some people, So people judge me before they get to know me based on who my friends are.
I've only ever seen you hang out with one person. I can't lie.
Yeah, I don't know these people anymore. But these used to smoke, do drugs, drink alcohol, and more stuff, but I'm not going to go into that. And people would judge me thinking I do all them stuff. People can do whatever they want. They can do that as a person. But that's something that I don't want to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, and they'll stereotype me of this sort of person. Until they get to know me, and I've had different people say to me, oh, you're not them how I thought you would be. But there's a certain extent to it, because you have some of the people, the whole friend group would be like a specific sort of way, and that actually influences them. So you can argue like the people who you hang around with, it does like change you who you are as a person, but it depends. And so I feel like if you involve yourself in that lifestyle and all the stuff they've done, I feel like you've done all that stuff, you've anticipated and all this type of stuff. So I feel like, yeah, it gives you a right to like cancel them, because you could have stopped doing that at any point you wanted, but you didn't. But if you did stop it, then yes, you could be more lenient towards it, but you still did it. So
I think it depends. Like, I agree with what you said, like everything you said, but you know,
of course you wouldn't agree.
but of course it is to an extent, because if you think about it, you're friends with someone for a reason.
Exactly.
Like, you of course are friends with someone because you have at least one similarity or a conversation you both can talk about and enjoy at the same time. You're friends with the person because, you know, you're like in at least one type of way. So maybe you're not alike in that type of way, doing all of these type of things, but of course you do have some similar relation, and that explains why you are friends and stuff like that. Okay, so next question: do you think this idea of cancel culture limits people? Wait, let me restart that. Do you think this idea of cancel culture limits people's freedom of speech?
Not really, but I know people think that. People think, because I saw this video on TikTok, right? And this girl, she was literally going about how she doesn't like cancel culture, like make it stop, because talk about their feelings, their opinions, their speech. But it's not like that. You can say what you want to say. You're allowed to feel a particular way about a specific thing. You can do whatever you want. Like, you are your own human being. But it's just some people will deem some ideas as unacceptable because they are unacceptable. So yeah, like, so it's a very big difference. So yeah. What was the question? I need to come back for a conclusion. Yeah. What was the question? Oh my god. Okay then.
Wait, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, where did you go?
Oh no, I was just testing something. Did I repeat the question for you?
No, you did not.
Okay, so the question was, do you think this idea of cancel culture limits people's freedom of speech?
Okay, so yes, it does, but in a way they think it does. So in reality, it doesn't, but people's mindsets think they do. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my conclusion to the answer.
Personally, I feel like realistically, it doesn't. Like, you can still say whatever you want to say.
Exactly.
Like, whether someone has an opinion on what you say, that's their own, because everybody has an opinion on everything. Whether it's
Exactly.
positive, negative, neutral, or you don't even realize it, you have an opinion on literally everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, in a way, it can limitate people's freedom of speech, because of course it can make people feel bad about their own opinion, or make someone feel like they can't say something
Exactly. But
while they're
sometimes,
getting acknowledged.
yeah. But the things I think will have a negative impact on other people. So at the same time, they do have a right to like feel guilty for what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, because they know the outcome is wrong.
Yeah. Like, for example, like, say if you had an opinion that like came out as racist or something. Say you believed that, well, like, you had a racist opinion on something. You know deep down that's racist.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, you know deep down what racism is. You know your opinion isn't the greatest. So whether you choose to express your opinion, you should expect what people are going to say about it. Because
Exactly.
people have an opinion on your opinion, and you have an opinion on their opinion on your opinion. So opinions, it's a crazy thing, and everyone has an opinion on literally everything.
Opinions really do matter.
Yeah. So do you think that cancel culture is effective?
Of course, it is effective. Like, the reason it is in place is because of people's outcomes are literally effective, but it affects like both parties. Like, yeah.
Okay. Um, do you
Wait, what
think,
way did you mean effective?
like, do you think canceling someone does something?
Oh,
Or is it
okay.
just,
I don't know if you meant the other way, but yeah. Okay, carry on.
do you think cancel culture encourages someone to change?
I mean, yeah, it does encourage people to change, but it shouldn't encourage people to change. Like, you're only changing because you know what you're going to do is wrong, because you know that people will cancel you because of it. You should
Yeah.
already know right from wrong. Why are you going off the outcome and stuff like that and what people will say and do? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it generally baffles me. But yeah. I've never used that word in real life sentences. That is that weird. But
Yeah,
anyways,
okay, so what do you think are the pros and cons of cancel culture?
pros and cons.
Yeah. What do you think are the good bits and the bad bits?
I know what pros and cons mean. I was thinking. Okay, so like the pros of it can educate what's right and wrong in society.
Yeah.
To be honest, I can't really think of any other pros. That's like the main point. But like the cons of it is like the effects. But then at the same time, you can also say that for pros, because like it affects both parties in both ways.
Yeah.
But, that's all I can really think of. Both of them, because they're like the main ideas of it. Because obviously there's like more. Yeah.
Personally, I feel like with the pros of it, I feel like one of the pros are a way to, even though you are just, say if just one person says something, you may be cancelling them publicly, is changing the mindsets of just other people as well, not just that one person.
Yeah.
Because, this person said something wrong, loads of people disagree with it, and I believe what the person said. Let me try think of changing my ways. That could be a pro. Or maybe a con is like, the toll it has on someone's mental health, or, as you said, it could lead to like people hurting themselves physically and mentally because they've been cancelled, etc., etc. So that could be some cons of it. So do you think that cancelling someone for their own opinion is fair?
This is very controversial. Like, you can argue both ways, but I personally think yes. You can. It all depends on what it is. Like, honestly, it really depends on what it is. But the reasons why you cancel people is because what they did is bad. So I would literally say, yeah, it is fair to cancel people because of their opinions.
Okay. Do you think that cancel culture only affects celebrities?
No, of course it doesn't only affect celebrities. It can affect literally any person.
Do you think it can affect you?
Yeah, it could affect me. If I was to do something, it would affect me. Like, what?
True. Because I feel like mainly like it's only seen as a celebrity thing.
Exactly.
Like no one gets seen as, oh, I got cancelled at my school. No one says that.
If someone were to say that, I would literally laugh in their face. Like
literally no one says that. So I feel like that's probably a way that people see it as anything more than just cancel celebrities, maybe. Okay. So has someone ever tried to I think I've answered this. I've asked you this question.
Have.
What was the question? Has someone ever tried to cancel you?
Yeah.
I think I've asked that. Do you think someone could be uncancelled after already being publicly cancelled?
No. They literally cannot. There's no coming back for it. Like,
I feel like it depends. Because it's happened before.
With who?
I don't remember. But I know on the top of my head, people try to like cancel. I think it was Kylie B.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's some videos of her saying something. As much as... And there's... Oh, yeah. I have another question. Do you think there's uncancelable... Like, it's not possible to cancel them type celebrities?
Wait, what? Say that again.
Do you think there are celebrities that are, like, impossible to cancel? No matter what they say, they just can't be.
Yeah, because they're literally that famous and, like, so many people like them. They will literally defend them. That cancel culture is literally invisible. That is literally what I was saying at the start. Like, it does not literally exist for them.
Like, for example, like A-list celebrities, like top rappers, all of that type of stuff. No matter what they say.
Like, even Jake Paul, he is ill, but it doesn't exist for him. Like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I've already asked this question. Okay.
That's why you ask them in order.
Leave me in my orders alone. Okay, so this is the last question I have for you, and then I'll let you rant about some more things you have to say. Do you have any views? I think I've asked this question. But anyways, do you have any views that you feel like it could get you cancelled?
Do I have any? Oh, you've already asked me this because this is where I talked about my I probably get cancelled for talking about men.
Okay, cool. Well, I finished most of the questions because it's been up to like about 55 minutes.
It's been past an hour. You know that, right? It's nearly 2 hours.
Nah, it's not nearly 2 hours. I've been checking.
It is.
No, I've been checking. Don't worry. Okay, so do you have any random bits and bobs that you want to say?
To do with this topic?
Yeah. Because I know you have a lot, apparently, to say.
No, I said everything I've had to say, I think. Yeah.
Yes, my questions actually got everything out of you. No way. Okay. So, you've made it to the end. How do you feel?
I feel like this was a good conversation because I got to talk about my hatred for men. Okay. Yeah, I've got to include it.
Okay, so at the end of every episode, I have a quote. And all of these quotes are made by, of course, me, because I'm amazing.
Okay.
Are you ready for my amazing quote that I made?
Okay, what's your quote?
Okay, so the quote of season 4, episode 6, which is your episode. Cancel culture.
You're on season 4?
Yes, I'm on season 4.
Okay,
you're on the 4th season.
Wow.
Wait, this is the 36th episode. So, the quote for season 4, episode 6 is, cancel culture is quite crazy. It could even cancel a vulture. See, it rhymes. It's amazing. Clap for me.
You must be mad. You're mad.
It's amazing. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyways, let me repeat it for the ones at the back. So the quote for season 4, episode 6 is, "Cancel culture is quite crazy. It could even cancel a vulture." That bangs. You can't tell me it doesn't bang. Shush. Okay. So, anyways, for those who are watching, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to follow the podcast. Lauren, is there anything you want to say?
I hope everyone has the best day ever.
And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.